And welcome into another episode of Beyond the Forecast. Kevin, episode 15.
It's flying by.
It's hard to believe. We're in March now.
Finally.
Meteorological spring. I'm ready for some spring warmth, some spring moisture. My skin could use some moisture.
Oh, mine too.
It's been horrible.
Yeah.
What have you been up to the last week or two? I know it's good to have you back. I know last week you were not fully here.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to, Rob.
Okay.
I mean, I was there's a bug going around.
There's a lot going around.
There's a lot going around this station right now, but I got I'll call it the ick. I wasn't really like really sick.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't feel like spreading it. I thought it would be best if I just slept in a few days, which I felt much better. I probably sounded a little raspy. If anybody was watching the news over the weekend, I sounded like I was a little bit of a deeper voice, which I think was kind of cool. But
Kevin's like, I want that voice.
I know, it sounded better, I mean, objectively, but it's funny because I slept in while I was sick. Today I did the exact opposite when I was covering for Matt, who probably got it from somebody else or me.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, there's so many.
Yep.
It could come from anybody right now. I mean, I've been washing my hands like a fiend.
Yes.
I've been taking immunity support gummies.
Yeah, I was taking all those too.
I think, fingers crossed, I think it's been helping.
Yeah, uh-huh. Let's get back.
Until it doesn't.
Until I'm doing the show alone
Until
next
it doesn't. Exactly.
I don't know if I've ever shown off my mug that I drink from on this show. This is from my sister Emily. It was a gift a couple years ago, I think, for the holidays. 100% chance of me telling you the forecast. I drink from it almost every day.
Is that a little bit of everything on there?
Yeah, you got your sun. I believe I can
Looks
look
like
at
snow and rain and thunderstorms.
You've got some thunderstorms,
which next week might be possible.
I almost wanted to put it, but I'm like, no.
No, we almost did yesterday.
Did you?
We almost.
Maybe you will later.
Alyssa's like,
what, for Thursday?
Let's wait. Yeah, I think when that front comes through, she's like, let's wait to see because the GFS was showing snow.
I was going to say, and honestly, looking at some of the trends, it might be coming through a bit earlier. But
no, it wasn't even showing a front though. It was literally just showing snow.
Yeah, we don't get.
So it was either warm with thunderstorms or cold with snow, and we're like, well, we're just gonna go somewhere in the middle.
The spring 10-day forecast, right? Anyways, tangent aside, it's good to be back. And
glad to have you.
I'm glad that we're talking about some warmer conditions because this winter was relentless.
Yeah. So here's the. That's not the one that I wanted. Here's the rundown for this week. We've got. We're recapping the month of February. We're going to be looking back at a very cold meteorological winter. I don't think you need me to tell you that. Meteorological springtime temperatures. So we're looking ahead to what the averages are for meteorological spring. That's March, April, and May.
Yep.
And then we'll look ahead towards the spring months based on what the Climate Prediction Center is seeing and what they're thinking is going to be the ultimate outcome for spring. And of course, we'll look at March as well because we're in the beginning of March. I do have to say, I think they did a good job with February.
Yeah.
Overall for winter, I think they were a little off. They had the East Coast and just south of us, I think they were leaning warmer. We know now that was not the case, but that's what they were. But we were never in the warmth. We were in the equal chances for either or. So not horrible, but not their best. I'll put it that way.
Long-range forecasting is a challenge.
Exactly. Seasonal forecasting is a challenge. It's not impossible, but it is very challenging.
It's got a ways to go.
Exactly. So let's get right to it. First, we want to talk about daylight saving time. Because that is beginning. See, you're clapping your hands. I didn't think you liked it.
No, so my thing is I'm just like, I'm ready. It's ever since it popped up on the 7-day.
You're
ready
just
for
bring it on.
my hour of sleep to be taken from me Saturday night.
At least you're not doing doubles.
Not this weekend.
Because, I did it the weekend of daylight saving time.
I did it once.
That was rough.
Yeah, it's not great.
It was double, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm like, okay, I'm exhausted.
I remember because that was when I was doing, it was 2 years ago, I was doing the double, and I remember we had Jordan planned out to start towards like the middle of March, and then I realized that would be the week after the time change. So I was like, hey, what are the chances we move up Jordan's debut by a week so that I could go to sleep Saturday night instead of Yeah.
And I think some of this too, I don't know. I feel like it is earlier and earlier every year. Some people are saying that on social media. I don't know how they determine it. No, I do remember it. I feel like I remember it being like mid to late March.
Not recently.
Not recently for sure, but I don't know. I think there is some truth to that. Maybe there's not. But anyways, you turn your clocks forward ahead. 2 a.m. Sunday morning, or obviously before you go to bed Saturday night. Sunset Saturday, 5:52. Sunset Sunday, 6:53.
That's sweet.
I'm excited for that. Obviously, the sunrises go a little bit later as well.
I'm not excited for that.
No, but we gain it back so quickly.
Like
you
a
know,
month.
yeah.
But that's a precious hour of web cameras I can't use. But
Well,
anyways,
you know what? I can drive home in the daylight.
that's
now
fair.
still.
That's fair. Now, what I'll add on to that is 6:53. It's funny because our forecast kind of lines up with increasing temperatures as soon as we spring ahead. Like Saturday to me is trending a bit cooler, so I think our spring warmth is truly gonna hold off till after the time change, and that's just ironic because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened last year. Matter of fact, there's a record high next week that is from last year, so I'm not just making that up. It's quite literally we just busted into spring as soon as the time change happened, and it looks like we're doing it again.
So that's awesome. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Well, no, because when you were talking, I was looking something up, so I was kind of half listening. I was listening.
That's awesome. Okay, Rob.
I was looking up as far as the daylight saving time.
Yes.
Since 2007, daylight saving time has begun on the second Sunday of March and ended on the first Sunday of November. So it's been that way for quite a while. But previously, it started the last Sunday of April.
Oh, my goodness.
So almost 2 months earlier now.
What?
And it ended on the last Sunday of October.
Oh, before Halloween?
Yes.
See, it makes sense to
Or Halloween.
It makes total sense to wait until November.
Yes.
Because you're trick-or-treating in the dark at that point.
Yes.
But the late April makes no sense. And
That seems very... See, and I feel like I remember that. That's why I'm the first weekend in March, I'm like, that seems very early. But
just going to say that to you because...
I'm a little older. I know.
I don't remember that because in March of 2007, I was 6.
Yeah, let's not go down that road. All right, moving on.
Sorry.
Kevin, you put this together. I think you updated it from what I had. I think we did most of it. But the warmest temperature?
50.
Ooh. The last day of the month.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mom, by the way. That's her birthday.
Oh, so she's only... Oh, no, this wasn't a leap year. Never mind. I was like, she's only like, what, 6?
So she was born in a leap year, but she missed it by, I think, an hour.
Which is good on her.
Yeah.
But, I've always wondered, which day do you celebrate on each year? Yeah. I guess you can kind of make it up each year.
I mean, not that my opinion matters in this particular debate, but I feel like if you were born in the morning, you celebrate the 28th. If you were born in the afternoon or evening, you celebrate the 1st of March, but
I think it depends on the person.
I think it's it's a very small group of people.
Yes.
1 out of 365 divided by 4, like what is that? Like 1 out of 1,000 something. So that's how many leap babies there probably are. It's up to you.
Yep.
Anyone out there, let us know. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, I'm in the beginning of the month, so I don't have to worry about that. And I know you're not even in the winter, so.
So the coolest temperature.
There we go.
-9. I think I was. That might have been a Monday, so I was not on the weather deck that day.
That was February 9th. Actually, let me look really quick.
I think that was a Monday. It was the day after we only hit 8, which was a Sunday.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh, maybe it was. Hang on.
Go ahead, look it up, Rob.
February 9th is it's a Monday. This calendar screwed me up.
Mm-hmm. Snowfall 10.5. It was a lot of little events. I don't think we're going to show the day-by-day calendar here.
No, we don't have that.
Yeah, but it was a bunch of smaller events. Aside from there was a Friday, we had a warm air advection event that overperformed.
Couple inches.
Big, massive flakes. If you remember, I was going on a spiel on TV about you can't call them flakes. You got to call them conglomerates. You got to call them, masses of snow because they were the biggest flakes I've ever seen. That day we got, I believe, 5.6.
Little exaggeration.
3.2 below normal for the month, though. However, as we'll show you later, we're still okay for the season. Precip, drier than normal, although February is not exactly known for being a wet month or snowy,
No, but I mean, when you look at it, I mean, it's over an inch below average. So, I mean, that is That is pretty significantly
big departure
drier.
percentage-wise, yes.
Yeah.
Temperatures, as you would probably not be surprised one bit to find out, were below average. Now, coming into the final few days, the departures were even greater, but we really got brought up a bit by those last 2 days, especially the 28th.
Also, I do just want to mention the precip. February is the driest month of the year.
It's also the shortest. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, it is just the driest. I mean, technically, it's one of the coldest months.
Yeah.
It's so
daily precip's at its lowest as well. It's not just the fact that it's 28 days, 29 sometimes. I remember you went out of 4-year leap baby, something.
So we ended up 4 degrees below average, I think, for the whole.
I think it was like 3 point something. There might have been 4. It was 4 on the dot.
I think it was 4 on the dot.
4 on the dot.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So moving on, we're going to talk about the seasonal recap.
Yes.
So
For the month.
The warmest.
This one irks
I know
me.
you probably don't remember this.
I do. It irks me to this day. It melted all our snow.
I don't remember this because I was sick.
And it was in the morning. It was in the morning.
I was dying. Thanks to Kevin.
Wow.
57 degrees on December.
That's dramatic.
Listen, you didn't see me. I was stuck in bed. It was not good.
Gave it to you in
with
this
a
room.
bad fever.
Most likely.
The coldest temperature was 9 below. Of course, we just talked about that on February 9th. Snowfall 48.1. Now this is only December, January, February. I think there was There was a couple. A little bit in November.
Yeah, we had. I remember very distinctly there was a lake effect event. On one of the last days of
5 point
November.
something inches,
Yeah. So
and
that was a big part of it.
That's what screwed up our snowfall contest.
Yeah,
because we wouldn't have thought that a lake effect event was going to give us an inch or more.
Go back to one of our early episodes. I cautioned
we did talk about that. We did talk about it, but lake effect here.
You wouldn't draw it up that way. That's
not
for sure.
that much snow.
No,
this
is awesome.
But
maybe
we were
not
still
so much, but.
We were still about 5 inches above average for the season. I think the next one is precip. Yep. So just shy of 6.5 inches of liquid equivalent, so rain and melted snow. 1.68 inches below average, so slightly drier. And I think a lot of that came from February.
Yeah, actually, I remember looking at the months, individually. One of them, I forget which one. I want to say December. One of them finished 1/100 of an inch, either above or less than normal. Mm-hmm. Like, how close can you get without doing it? That's like a Price is Right type of guess.
But was it 1/100 of an inch above or below?
I don't remember.
Okay, so
I think it was slightly lower.
Okay,
but don't quote me on that.
Overall, 23.5 degrees for the 3-month period. That's the average. So 3.7 degrees colder than average. Coldest since 2014, 2015. Now, I do have to say, though, too, last year, I think, was a below average winter. I don't remember exactly where we ranked, but last winter was a below average winter as well. So
not quite this low. However, all 3 months last winter were also below average. Now, one of them was barely, but it was
And that's
below.
the significance, right, is that it wasn't, it's not like the cold was in 1 or 2 months. It was all 3 months. It was not,
And what I'll add on to that is that that 2014-15, if you look at that February, it is ridiculous. It was so cold. I wrote an entire story in December about that February because I was just looking for a month where I'm like, have we ever had 2 weeks straight of below average high temperatures? And I was like, oh, all of February 2015 was below average.
It was. I remember that year. That's when when the polar vortex became mainstream.
That's funny.
All right, 23-24 average temperature was 33.8. That was the warmest winter on record here in Albany.
My first one here. I was winter's not that bad here.
That's over 10 degrees warmer than this past winter.
Fun fact about that winter, maybe it's not so fun. It depends on your discretion.
Yeah.
That winter, the lowest temperature, I think it happened 3 times and 3 consecutive mornings in a row.
7?
+7.
Yeah.
+7. I was like,
that.
Albany winter's not that bad.
remember that.
I got this. And then the
last 2 winters. All right, I just want to make sure before we go. All right, we're going to do the snowfall, and then I think we're going to take a quick break. I think this was the end of all the recapping stuff. So
yes.
For the month of
Unless
February.
you have the map in there too, right?
Which is in there?
You have
Oh,
the
yes.
map.
So, all right.
10.5
inches of snow for the month of February, slightly below average. So far for the month of March, we've seen 1.8 inches of snow, so slightly above average. 56.8 since snow began way back in November. It seems like forever now. We're still, almost 10 inches above average. We only need 2 or 3 more inches to get to average for the entire season. So,
And for Albany, I believe that's the first time in a while.
that'd be the first time since I've been here, and that means that's 7 winters. Even with those big storms thrown in there, we just never saw snow after that.
Thawed out after them.
This is quite interesting, Kevin. Syracuse leading the pack right now at 134.6 inches for the seasonal snowfall.
I will say, though, they were on track to demolish like the past 15 years or 10 years of snow. And because I looked into this like probably late January, early February, they were well on their way. And because Lake Ontario had some ice cover, Lake Erie,
it slowed it.
It slowed down quite a bit. So.
Yeah.
But they're still got a lot.
We're so late in the season, the water temperatures are so much colder now.
Yeah.
So even when we get those cold air intrusions, it's not as cold as what it was just a month ago,
Yes.
so it's not as intense.
They'll get some more, but
Rochester is running above average at almost 108 inches. Yeah. I lived there all my life. I'm so glad I don't live there anymore because of the snow. Boston, more snow than us, 62.5 inches.
Good for them.
Providence, 69.1. Of course, that is courtesy of the big storm, last week?
Half of it almost.
New York City closing in on us. Yeah. And Burlington has more snow than us.
Some of the New York stats, it's like first time getting like 4 inches in one storm in a while, and they blew right by it during the blizzard, of course.
Now, this is quite remarkable. I don't think you need me to tell you that, but there's a bullseye there in the Tug Hill. Yeah.
I
wouldn't be surprised if some areas there have seen more than that, honestly.
That's just a lifestyle at that point.
365 inches of snow. That's ridiculous.
That's an inch a day. But
that is ridiculous.
Not in a day. Or sorry, like
over the course of a year. Yeah, if it was an inch every day for the year.
There's the math. Except some days they're in the 80s. So.
All right. Kevin needs a break. So we're going to go to break.
Maybe less coffee.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about what we can expect for March, what the average spring-like temperatures are, and what we're expecting for this coming spring. Don't go away. And welcome back to Beyond the Forecast. We're looking at what we've got to show, Kevin, and we've got to get rocking and rolling because we talk too much. So
I blame the coffee. I think I had a little more trying to compensate for the early wake up. But
so we're gonna jump right in. This is the Albany's average for meteorological spring. Probably should have thrown March in here first, but it is what it is. This is what we're going with. So jump right into it.
Yeah. So March 1st, a couple days ago, 40, the average high, which it's going up pretty quickly right now, like 2 or 3 degrees per week. And that actually accelerates, especially in the month of April. So notice by April 1st, average high is 52. So only a couple weeks away, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks away, but not too far away. The average high will be 52. We'll be waking up on average with the temperature close to freezing. And then over the course of a 30-day month, the average high goes up from 52 to 66. So nearly 2 degrees per day, up to 66. That is going to be very, very nice. I'm excited for that. Now, of course, they're averages for a reason. If you recall last May, even as the average highs go from 66 to 75, most of the month was very much not that nice. We had east flow, northeast flow, clouds, rain.
And that'll kill you in the spring.
If we get that again after the winter we just had, June's going to be
It's kind of looking like it. It's looking possible next couple weeks.
All right.
Everybody's saying spring, and then you look at the models and you're like,
listen.
There's a 1040 high parked up to the north and east. There's still a lot of cold air up there.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm hopeful.
If we repeat last May after the winter we just had, 2 things are true. First of all, that's sad. And secondly, that would make June and July phenomenal.
Even if it's 95 plus?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to hold you to it.
Even if it's 95
I'm going to hold you to it. And if you start complaining, I will make sure to run this back.
I could get a little hot, but also I feel like shade and fans exist. Anyways, jackets exist for the winter. That's the comeback.
Air conditioning exists too.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't realize that was on there. But we've already talked about the daylight, so
Yeah, almost 4 hours is picked up over the next set of months. I'm looking forward to like the average lows being 40s and 50s.
Me,
Like I'm out a lot in the morning. Like that'll be nice.
listen, I love gardening. So in the evenings when it's still spring, late spring.
Oh, and if you get like a south wind at night and you have like those 60 or even 70-degree nights. Now we don't want a lot of those, but occasionally.
Yeah, those are nice midsummer nights. All right, this is what the Climate Prediction Center is suggesting for March. It's a lean towards above average. Now notice we're in the first orange there. So
that is a lean.
It's just a slight lean. They definitely have the bullseye down in the Mid-South.
Makes sense.
So I do anticipate perhaps rounds of severe weather in March as well, because you have the near average north and west. That does, to me, mean that there's still going to be some cold air intrusions coming in. So
Definitely.
Obviously, it's severe weather season anyways in the springtime in the South. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. In terms of precip, yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of goes with my thinking there.
That's crazy. That is, wow.
That's a big signal for above average through the Ohio Valley back through the middle of the country. So, and we're kind of right on that edge of near average or a slight lean above average.
I
could take a dry March. I could take a dry March.
I can't believe on a month outlook of the gradient and the confidence pretty high for a monthly outlook.
I agree.
I'm impressed.
I agree.
So we'll watch that. Obviously, like you mentioned, Rob, we are on the fringe.
Yep.
And I would just expect it to be unsettled.
Kind of a normal, just unsettled. It's March. We expect there to be ups and downs.
We're not going to get a Rex block.
No. And I mean, if you, again, when you look at our forecast too, when we're forecasting 60s in March, there's going to be a cliff that we're going to be falling off of at some point. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. So here's the spring outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. So again, equal chances for us here in the Northeast. I know that's near average, but that's equal chances. It could go either way.
The Southwest above again. I mean, they just, some of those folks had like their warmest
winter.
So,
but that's what you see though too, is when we're so cold or warm, the West Coast is usually the opposite. So,
scale.
You do have we were very cold. The West was very warm, and then you have that little area of below average just west of the Great Lakes there. So the Northern Plains. So, sad for them. Here's
okay. Slower. Groundhog will be, I guess, right up there a little more.
Here's the precip. Again, March, April, May, near average, above average in the Great Lakes. And it kind of makes sense to me, Kevin, for below average in the Southwest. Yeah. If they're going to be so warm, there's got to be a big ridge of high pressure, some
100%.
blocking high
they're
or
gonna
something.
They're going to be sitting there. So.
That worries me that we're going to be in for troughs and unsettled and cool.
Anyways, keep going.
You don't want to talk about that? I don't know what's next after this.
I just told you how I feel. How I will feel, and how I think I speak for a lot of people, if we have a cold May after this winter.
I don't want it, but I'm not going to wish cast.
I know, you're right. That's the smart thing to do.
So I got to be practical. You got to look at the data, and
the data.
Unfortunately, it's supporting the possibility of prolonged cool. Now, we're not saying cold. I don't want to say cold.
Just a slow.
Not something I want to deal with. I'd rather go right to spring. And I think a lot of people, I will say, a lot of my weather watchers, they're messaging in and they're just saying, when is the warmth like? Even the ones who love winter are over winter this year.
And I know this warm up coming up is probably going to mark an end to being able to skate on the ponds or snow. Maybe the snowmobile. I wouldn't put a snowmobile out there after it hits 70. But
it's just you lose the integrity of the ice.
Yeah, so I know the clock's ticking there, and I know there's some businesses that rely on stuff like that. But
this was such a great season for them.
Yes, and the best one likely in a decade.
Yes. Because it wasn't just cold; they could make the snow.
It was so
we
consistent.
had snow. The ice on the lakes and waterways were consistent.
Yeah.
We've been mentioning this the last couple of weeks, concerned about ice jams.
Yep.
Maybe that's a topic we talk about next week with the warmth coming. Hopefully, it's a whoops.
I'll be
Hopefully
talking.
that didn't do anything.
I'll be
Hopefully
talking about
it's a shortened warm up. I hate to say that, but so that it's not prolonged and we're not getting rain after rain with warmth and ice jams and things like that. So hopefully it would slow the potential of ice jams if we do get that cool down again beyond this. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap things up in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Beyond the Forecast. Kevin, what do you got planned for this week? Anything fun?
Well, I just switched my schedule so that Wednesday's my Friday. So honestly, like I've been trying to do this change for like longer than I expected, and you know that very well. Doing all the noons on the same day you do Pet Connection, so sorry about that. You'll probably catch Allison on some Friday noons now, so that'll be nice. But anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is I finally have this as my weekend, and I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with all this, Thursday and Friday. I'm not used to being off on those days. So obviously I am in a dodgeball league, so that's on Thursday nights, and that's something I have going on. It's just otherwise kind of I'm sticking around for the weekend. So what do you have for the rest of the week and weekend ahead?
Well, I've only got to work tomorrow, Thursday. Then I've got Friday off.
Nice.
I have a friend, longtime friend coming in from Buffalo. So
Cool.
She's going to be staying with us for the weekend. And I think we're going to do a little bit of skating on Saturday. Hopefully I don't fall again. I did fall last week. That hurt. First and only time I ever fell skating. I've been going skating quite a bit. That was not, I was like, yeah, we're done. We're leaving now.
Like most of the skating I've done in my life has been with hockey equipment on. I think I have fallen once or twice without pads, and it's not great. And I'd only imagine it's worse.
I think what happened, so I have figure skating skates, and I think what happened is the toe pick caught, and that just threw me off. So
I don't know if you know this, Rob, and I don't know if we need this tangent. I'm sorry.
We've got a couple minutes. We're fine.
But, hockey skates obviously have the curved edges unless you're a goalie, and I was a goalie because we're not necessarily going up and down the ice. For some reason, I don't know the exact reasoning, but our skates are actually a little bit closer to what you were probably wearing with like the flatter top. Definitely the front. The back, I think, is curved.
Interesting.
But the front, I believe,
has like a little bit of a pick on it or something?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I don't, if you, anyways, this is a whole tangent now, but the goalie skates also have like a guard on the front of them, like in front of the blade themselves. So I think that alters the way, because like, I've skated without pads with my goalie skates on, and
it's tough.
It's interesting with the
when you're lifting because you're lifting your foot, and so the front of it is kind of like hitting the ice anyways.
Yeah.
It was. I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny though. Like I'm so used to the goalie equipment on that like when I skate with the goalie skates without the pads, I'm almost like off balance at first. Like I'm like I don't have all these big pillows. I don't have the big pillows on my legs.
I had nothing except jeans.
Ouch.
Right on my hip.
Ouch.
And then I just laid there and laughed because I was like, really? Because I was trying some fun things, and it was good. It was a productive session.
Trying to be the quad guy.
But no, I'm just trying to do some little spins. I'm not even leaving the ice yet. I'm afraid to leave the ice. If you have a weather question or something cool to share, that's a hard turn there. You can email myself or Kevin at the email addresses there. Might be featured in a future episode. Of course, we had the lunar eclipse this week. I know many people didn't see it. We also had the planetary alignment late last week. I think I got a couple pictures from that.
Nice.
But anything coming up in the next couple of weeks, feel free to send it our way. Otherwise, we have to end this. Otherwise, we're going to get yelled at. So, Kevin, have a great week. We'll see you guys back here next week on Beyond the Forecast.